Today I'm going to show you how to make a really beautiful jewelry tray out of resin. It's a feather shape, and I used some fall themed items to make it kind of like a fall theme. So first, I've had these flowers in here for quite a while, and I've used them in lots of different projects. So for this, I'm just going to take these flowers directly off, put them in the resin, and then tear the green stems into tiny little pieces. That's going to add a really beautiful textured look with different types of shapes and sizes in there. I'm going to go ahead and add the copper colored foil flakes as well. And these last me forever. I love them. You can see how much I put in there, but there's still so much left, and I've been using these for a while. I also put that entire container of black glitter in there. So my resin's already mixed up. I use parts A and B of equal parts. That's how my resin is. Your resin might be mixed differently, but I've already mixed the resin up, and then I put the items in it. So that one's done. So next, for this one, we're going to do something different. We're going to put in some dried lily flowers, and this is the petals. I'm going to tear them into small pieces. These dried flowers and everything that I'm using in this video, I will link in the description so that you can find anything that I'm using. It's most of the things that I use are from Amazon. So just tear these into tiny pieces. If you have your own dried flowers that you have dried, you can use those as well. This is the perfect time to do it. If you have flowers in your garden or even any wildflowers, you can take those and dry them. You can either dry them flat, and I have a video on my channel showing you how to do that, or you can just take them and hang them up and dry them, and they'll look like this, and you can use them for this purpose. So dried flowers are a beautiful way to make anything with your resin, and I love using them in lots of different ways. So since the flower petals are lighter, you really want to mix them and make sure they're getting all the way through the resin. So I also want to put in some glitter into this. So this one I'm using some white glitter, and I'm just going to dump some directly in it. And then mix that in really good. Make sure it's all the way down to the bottom, and see how pretty it's already starting to look. So to me, this is more like a fall. This cup's more fallish, and the other one is more like a Halloween type fall. So this is a dried flower from a bouquet my husband had got me a while ago, actually. And I've had it, and I have quite a few of them, but this was the perfect project for it, I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and tear some of the petals into it and add it right in there. So now you have orange, and you have like this cream, and you have some of that white glitter in it, and it's really, I think it turned out really pretty. And I'm going to use these mixed cups actually for another project that you'll see coming out as well in the next couple weeks. It just took me a little bit longer to assemble it, so it'll take a little bit longer to put the video out. But so I used these exact cups for this feather cup and that project as well. So this was a bit of a thicker stem, so I had to bring out my seam cutter scissors, and I'm going to cut them in there. But I wanted to add some more texture and colors to this as well. So here's adding some green in there, but that one stem was too big to tear, so I went ahead and cut it up. You can add so many different things to this resin. Just keep in mind this feather mold has grooves, so you want to make sure it's something that can bend to the grooves so it's not ruining the mold, your finished product at the end. I still felt like it needed a little something, so I did some of this glitter flakes, and it's like a light green color, but it'll add some nice shine, and it really did perfect the end product at the end. So first we're starting with that Halloween looking mix that we made, and this mold is so good. I've never had one turn out bad. Every time I've used it, it's looked beautiful, and they sell great. So what I like to do is force the resin down the edges just like this, and then you kind of lift up the flap to help a little bit, but this is what's going to get that resin all the way down to the edges. And I almost always use this same technique when I'm doing this feather mold, because I think that it gets good dimension. I always use two different types of patterned resin. So whether it be different colors that you're using or different, like what we did, 2 different cups of things, I do one for the edges, and you're going to force it down into that stem, and then I do the other cup for the middle part. And I just think it makes the feather have more dimension. It makes it more beautiful. So here's where we did, it's more of the fall light color. So still forcing it slightly down the edges, but not all the way. And that's going to help it have a nice mix in there to where it doesn't look like you just splashed something in there. Very gently. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm doing this super gently. I've sped up the video because it took forever, but gently, gently push it down the edges. And then see that stem? I always like to squeeze the stem too and really make sure that it's forced, because that way you don't have any holes on your stem. This is me trying to get all of that resin, so I'm not wasting any. And then I've let that cure overnight. And the next day you can take it out of the mold. And you want to very gently bend it back just like this. Very, very gently. And you can see already how we had the 2 different patterns where the edges are looking slightly different than the middle. See how it gave it some dimension? It turned out really beautifully. It definitely looks fall themed. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I have a ton more on my channel, and I hope you liked it. I really like how it turned out, and I love how this mold does every single time. Have a blessed day.